Sclafani making his 16th start of the year, 5-5 on the year, very good 3.35 ERA. He came over from the Florida Marlins over the winter in his first season with the Cincinnati Reds.
Northland Ford defense for the Cincinnati Reds. Marlon Byrd is in left field. Billy Hamilton's in center. Jay Bruce in right. Todd Frazier, Eugenio Suarez, the left side of the infield. Brandon Phillips out again tonight. Ivan DeJesus Jr. at second. Joey Votto at first. And Tucker Barnhart behind the plate. A little bit of a change in the umpiring crew. We got Ben May added to the crew.
Yeah, Jerry Meal ended up not being here, so hopefully he's all right.
Jerry Lane.
Jerry Lane, excuse me.
And so Brian Dozier, who hit a 3-run home run last night, got the Twins back into the game a little bit. Nice comeback by the Twins with 6 runs in the fourth, but the margin, early margin of lead for the Reds too big to overcome. Second time the Twins have had a short start. The series opener in Milwaukee was an even shorter start by Trevor May. DeSclafani will face Dozier, Hunter, and Mauer in the first.
Yeah, scouting report on DeSclafani, basically a sinker slider type pitcher. And he'll mix in a changeup and a slow curveball from time to time. Just 25 years old.
And Dozier in the box. First pitch lifted foul, a strike. Okay, well, we've got a late lineup change, and we'll update you as we can. But Shane Robinson has been scratched. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Danny Santana is in the game.
And playing left field by the scoreboard.
And Dozier's gone on 3 pitches. Dozier gone quickly, and that'll bring up Torrey Hunter, who we believe is still in right field.
DeSclafani picking up his 62nd strikeout in 89 innings pitched. Good hard breaking ball down and away.
1 down, and that'll bring up Hunter. Torrey has hit anywhere from 2nd through 5th in the batting order. Back in the number 2 spot tonight. Swing and a foul.
Torrey having a good road trip. 5 hits in 16 at bats with 3 home runs. He's driven in 4.
1-1.
Well, 1 for 4 in last night's ball game with a double.
Drilled a double to left center field. Started a Twins comeback. 1-2. Foul back. I think I've overheard the announcement here that Danny Santana is in center field, not as posted on the scoreboard here.
Okay.
And that Rosario is in left, which makes more sense. Santana's never played left field, at least not at this level. But again, once we get the official lineup confirmed, we'll put it on your screen for you. Chop foul. One of the reasons the Twins have struggled in the month of June, the lack of run production. Generally, the starting pitching has been at least as good in June as it was in May. But in June, in 27 games, the Twins scored 139 runs. So far in June, in the same number of games, they've only scored 95 runs.
Yeah, and they're hitting only 234 as a ball club in the month of June. Little different in May when they hit 269 and drove in 139 runs.
2-2 to Hunter. High fly to left center field and deep. Byrd back, and that ball is gone. Torrey Hunter with a home run, his 12th of the year.
Well, they say that this ballpark, the ball really carries in the alleys. Of course, 328 down the left field line, but this ball right over the 379 mark. And Torrey hitting his 12th home run gives the Twins a 1-0 lead. Oh, why Torrey's reaction right there, I think he knew he got it. Enough to get over that fence in left field.
Both teams took batting practice yesterday. The Reds got theirs in before the rain came. The Twins did not, but Torrey had a good feel for that one. And now here's Mauer. Strike on the outside corner. Hunter, who started driving the ball again in Milwaukee, has continued it here in Cincinnati with a ringing double last night and a first at bat home run. 2 strikes now to Mauer. And the Twins have indeed scored that first run early.
DeSclafani giving up just his 6th home run in his 16th start.
0-2 to Mauer. And a breaking ball down and in. And a couple of 3-pitch strikeouts. Hunter with a home run, and he started his power hitting again in Milwaukee.
Yeah, a couple of home runs on Saturday in Milwaukee. And then on Sunday, he added another. And he put the Twins up 1-0 here.
And now Plouffe will bat. Down and away, ball 1. Twins struggling, and it's been a slow leak, as we said last night, down toward the 500 mark, 40-36. This is almost impossible to imagine, but 15 teams in the American League. There are 10 teams. 2/3 of the teams have winning records. You wouldn't think that would even be possible.
It's hard to do.
And the Twins are one of the 10, obviously. There are 3 teams in the American League Central, 4 teams in the American League East, and 3 teams in the American League West, all playing above 500 baseball. 2-1 to Trevor Plouffe. That's into short center. Hamilton coming in, and he won't get there, neither will the shortstop Suarez. And Plouffe gets a looping base hit, and that'll get Rosario to the plate.
Well, Trevor got jammed a little bit, but strong enough to hit it out to short left center.
Rosario was in the original lineup as a center fielder, and we believe he's been moved to left with the scratch of Shane Robinson. And again, when we find out the reason for the lineup change, we'll pass it along to you. Check swing foul. Usually when a player is scratched right before game time, something happened on the field during batting practice or something, but of course the Twins weren't on the field, so we'll wait and see what the reason for the switch was. DeSclafani throws to first. Rosario retired, but Hunter with a home run to put the Twins up early. had a lot of injuries to key players, pitchers, catchers, and so on and so forth. Here's the Menards batting order. For the Reds, Billy Hamilton leading off, Ivan DeJesus Jr., then Joey Votto, Todd Frazier, Jay Bruce, Marlon Byrd, Tucker Barnhart. Had a good day at the plate last night with 4 hits. Eugenio Suarez, and then Anthony DeSclafani.
And 29-year-old Phil Hughes on the mound, making his first career start against the Cincinnati Reds, his 16th start of the year. And as we mentioned in the open, he has been pitching very well as of late. Over his last 4 starts, 2-1 with a 2.43 ERA. Just got news that Shane Robinson out of the lineup. He became ill.
Okay. Probably having some of that Skyline chili they are famous for here. Billy Hamilton will lead things off. Trevor Plouffe almost as close to home plate as Phil Hughes is.
And Brian Dozier's second base has to come in about halfway on that dirt in case of the bunt that he took with him yesterday.
Fly ball to left. And Rosario with the catch, 1 away. Hamilton started the ball game with a bunt single last night, and everything kind of fell apart for Mike Pelfrey after that. 1 down, and now Ivan DeJesus will hit. Check out the Twins in the field, brought to you by Northland Ford. With the change, Rosario moving from center to left, Santana moving into center field, Torrey Hunter in right, Plouffe, Nunez, Dozier, Mauer around the infield, and against common sense, Kurt Suzuki behind the plate. He took a beating last night. The ball driven foul, and shouldn't be surprised, I guess. We've seen that from Kurt in his year and a half with the Twins. Just when you think he needs a day off because he's beaten up, I think he goes to bed at night saying, well, I'm going to show them I'm going to be in the lineup tomorrow. And a strike called, 0-2. Again, Phil Hughes is leading all of baseball in being stingy with the base on balls. Only 16 walks last year. And he set a major league mark for least amount of walks with innings pitched. And again this year he's only walked 9 in almost 100 innings. 99 innings now with the out recorded here in this first inning. 9 walks in 99 innings. That's the best in baseball. 1-2.
You know, the month of April, we talked about it before, was kind of a struggle. He is 0-4. Things weren't going his way, even though he didn't get a lot of run support. He lost 4-0, 2-0. A couple games there. He lost that complete game loss to Fernandez in Seattle. But one thing we saw was a lot of fastballs in April. Now he's mixing it up a little.
Oh, that's a nice catch by Nunez on a hooking line drive.
Very nice reaction by Nunez, going to his right and coming up with that line drive out off the bat of DeJesus.
This had some hook to it.
Hit the ball sharply. Nunez makes the second out catch.
2 down, and that'll bring up Joey Votto. Just missed the inside corner. Plate umpire David Rackley hearing some heat from the Twins dugout over that pitch not called a strike. And that one is called a strike. 1-1.
That's what I'm talking about, what Phil has done. I think in April what he did right there is throw a fastball just right at it. But now mixing in breaking balls, changing speeds with his breaking ball.
Swing and a foul.
And a good pitch right there just above the hands of Votto.
And with 2 strikes, Plouffe will switch over to the right side of the infield. Here's what makes what Hughes has done his last couple starts even more impressive. He's done it with slightly decreased velocity. We saw him last year regularly throw 93, 94, even a few times 95, and he hasn't thrown that hard this year.
Oh, he thought that was a strike right there, the little cutter.
Hughes started toward the dugout.
Watch this little cutter work outside.
Might have been low. Yep. And that one lifted to left, and it will carry to Rosario, who makes a catch. 3 fly ball outs and a quick first inning for Phil Hughes. For you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag NorthDataStrongFan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. Brought to you by T-Mobile. Twins in front on the strength of a Torrey Hunter home run. Eduardo Nunez will lead off the second. Strike on the outside corner. Reds gave up Matt Latos to the Marlins to get DeSclafani. Latos has had a disappointing year for the Marlins. DeSclafani's done okay.
Yeah, making just his 21st major league start, his 29th appearance.
And Nunez takes a strike, 1-2. Until we mentioned that 15 teams in the league, 10 of them with winning records, and the Twins are one of the 10. There's a lot of teams in the range where the Twins are 4, 5, 6 games above 500. There's a big chopper over the head of Frazier. Nunez loses his helmet before he gets to first.
Yeah, that's not right. Usually he loses it around first going to second base. He lost it early.
A leadoff double on a chopper over Todd Frazier.
Yeah, we saw this in last night's ball game. In front of home plate must be very hard because we've seen this a couple times last night. The ball hitting sharply in front of home plate, and then the ball bouncing over the head, this time of Frazier at third base, and there goes the helmet, and Nunez picks up his 12th double.
Hey, after what we saw in Milwaukee with Carlos Gomez, Nunez does a nice job keeping the helmet on.
A lot longer, doesn't he?
Gomez loses his in the batter's box. Here's Suzuki. Twins with the lead. They need to take advantage of this leadoff double. Be surprised if Suzuki doesn't hit this ball to the right side. And he tried and fouled it away.
And you saw the effort right there. And that's what you want your players to do if you're Paul Molitor and Tom Bernansky, is give yourself up. Maybe a base hit, get rewarded, but try to get Nunez over to third base, especially since we have not scored a lot of runs.
1 strike. And now 2 strikes.
Now it's a little different. Now you have to hit for yourself.
Of course, over the course of the next 3 months, the 10 winning teams will separate, and the teams that get to postseason play will do the little things like Suzuki is hoping to get done yet here. Teams that pitch the best will get to postseason play. And that gets by the pitcher and it will allow Nunez to score. Last night Suzuki hit a similar ball and it was turned into a double play. This one got by DeSclafani and Nunez moves up a base.
Yeah, right through the wickets right there. Nunez had to hold up a little bit, but he does get to third.
Join Fox Sports North at the next viewing party Thursday beginning at 6:30 p.m. at Park Tavern in St. Louis Park. You can watch the Twins take on Kansas City, enjoy food and drink specials, register for tickets, get your All-Star Game preview, prizes and more. Visit foxsportsnorth.com and click on upcoming events on the Hot Topics bar. Here is Santana with the infield in. And Santana tried to drive one to the outfield, one strike. Santana not in the starting lineup, inserted with the removal of Shane Robinson for illness reasons, not injury reasons. And now up and in. Twins had made it a 9-7 ball game last night, and they had a situation like this. It could have closed the gap one more run, but they did not get that runner in from third with less than 2 out. See if Santana can get the job done here. And Nunez is going to come home and he'll score. Votto's throw was late and wild.
Yeah, it looked like he had a little trouble getting that ball out of his glove. The ball, don't think he got a real good grip on it and overshot Barnhart, the catcher. Nunez going right away. Good throw, gets Nunez at home, but Votto flipping it back to the backstop.
Should be a fielder's choice on a run batted in and no error charge, but we'll see how they rule it, and that is how they rule it. 2-0 Twins. Santana at first, and we'll see how good of a bunter Phil Hughes is.
Phil has a couple sacrifice bunts, 0 for 12 in his career.
There goes the element of surprise, and it's a bunt foul. Paul Molitor has alternated. In fact, this is just the second time I guess he's had the pitcher hitting ninth. He's had pitchers hitting eighth for most of these National League style games, but this worked out well because he had a position player up with a runner at third and 1 out, and not a pitcher. And now with a runner at first and 1 out, Hughes hopes to get down a bunt and get Santana up one more base. 1-1. Molitor talking about not to pick on the pitchers, just the team has not bunted well this year. And that just a take, but we've seen Twins bunters, even the position players, try to bunt a pitch that isn't a strike.
Well, Phil, what he wants to do is bunt this ball toward Votto at first base.
Throw it away. Votto has to sidestep first base umpire Hunter Wendelstedt, and now Santana is safe at third. Frazier couldn't hold on to the throw.
For some reason, Danny Santana just kept running with his head down.
I don't know if he thought he was in Oakland or what.
Yeah, I don't know. There's not as much foul territory here at Great American Ballpark.
Barnhart out to try to settle down DeSclafani, whose infield has betrayed him.
Yeah,
here.
watch Votto right there. He was heading toward home plate looking for the bunt. The ball gets behind him. And Danny Santana.
Well, you can see he was looking at Gene Glenn, who may have motioned him over, but Frazier hangs on to a good one-hop throw. He's out. Now the infield in again for Phil Hughes.
I guess you need breaks in this game. The Twins got a good break right there.
Got a break when Nunez scored on a poor throw from Votto. And now Hughes takes a strike, and it's 1-2. We saw Kyle Loesch in Milwaukee in a similar spot drop down a safety squeeze, but of course Loesch practices that all year long. It'd be unrealistic to expect Hughes to do that here. And he takes outside, 2-2. The Twins catching a lot of breaks, and the breaks this inning started with Nunez pounding the ball into the dirt in front of home plate for a double. And Hughes grounds it, backhanded by DeJesus. Solid contact by Hughes, but the infield in keeps Santana at third. And that'll bring up Dozier. Dozier struck out on 3 pitches to start the game. Infield into a pull shift for Dozier. Brian will see more and more of that. Thought about bunting. That would be a nice way to get Santana in from third base. Now Frazier shortens up his stance at third base a few steps. A push bunt here even would be effective, one would think. Asked about general bunting today with the media, Paul Molitor said, well, Brian Dozier's a good bunter, but the way he's hitting doubles and home runs, he doesn't want to give away too many at bats with a bunt. 2-0. Pop straight up in the air. Back behind home plate, Barnhart has no play. Vote for Brian Dozier on your 2015 Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot now at twinsbaseball.com. Voting is exclusively online, available on your computer, tablet, and smartphone. You can vote up to 35 times at twinsbaseball.com. Remember, hashtag vote Dozier for this year's All-Star Game.
Well, in last night's ball game, they tried to really pitch Brian Dozier down and away. And when you make a mistake, especially in, Brian will take advantage of it. Even right there, Barnhart sitting down and away, and the ball left up. That's where Brian likes it. Struck him out on a slider in the first inning.
Got him again. The Twins get a leadoff double from Eduardo Nunez and get another run in the second.
As we start at the bottom of the second, Hughes is looking a lot more like the guy who got 16 wins for the Twins last season. And I asked Paul Mulder to explain what he's noticed as far as any changes with Hughes this season. He said, well, for a while, he could see the wheels turning in his head between pitches. It was almost as if he was trying to create pitches that he didn't really have in his arsenal just to try to get through a tough inning. And now Mulder says that Phil has gone back to what he did last year. That is using the four-seamer, working both sides of the plate. And he also said his curveball is really starting to have more bite to it. The final thing, guys, Mulder says the changes that he's seen in Phil Hughes are just as much mental as physical, which is pretty interesting. But so far, so good. He's going for a third straight solid start.
Ball hit to left center field, chased by Santana. He won't get there. A breaking ball blasted by Frazier, and he's got a leadoff double.
Yeah, that breaking ball just left up, and Frazier, like Brian Dozier, a lot of extra base hits, and he didn't miss that breaking ball. His 22nd double. It's the curveball that just kind of hung, and Frazier, who's having a great year in Cincinnati, I'm sure will be going to the All-Star game. Splits that gap in left center. You see Frazier leading all of baseball in extra base hits. Brian Dozier third.
And now Bruce will hit. Suzuki wanted to have a chat with Hughes. Swing and a miss. Hughes keeping the ball away from Bruce for the same reason the Reds were pitching Suzuki in the inner half of the plate. Make it a little bit more difficult for him to hit it to the right side. Bruce, a run producer, though. He's thinking about driving the run in, not just advancing the guy to third base. There's another pitch away. Swing and a miss again.
Well, one thing I'm sure that the Reds have on Phil Hughes, and a lot of these hitters have not faced him. Bruce has never faced Phil Hughes. They're going to attack early because Phil's going to be around the plate. That is to Phil's advantage if he can hit his spots. He just hung that breaking ball to Frazier.
Looking for a strikeout. Pops straight up and back and out of play. Bruce on the season, 257 at bats and 66 strikeouts. About once every 4 at bats he'll head back to the dugout on strikes. Lifted to right field, now right center, and it's Santana who will make the catch, and Frazier has to hold. So a very tall, short fly ball, one away. And it'll bring up Bird.
Myron Bird, one of the hitters that has faced Phil Hughes before. He's 0 for 3 with a strikeout against Phil. And Phil's done pretty good in interleague play. This is his 16th interleague start. He's 9-4 with a 3.82 earned run average. His 21st game, did some relieving when he was with the Yankees.
Swing and a miss. Bird with more than a strikeout in every 4 at bats.
Now Bird in his 14th major league season, his first season here with the Reds. He's played for 8 different teams at the major league level. The Phillies a couple times.
And a miss again.
291 mile an hour fastball, so Bird is late.
But again, you know, we saw Hughes last year throw a little bit harder than that, and it's been typically topping out at 91, 92. Oh, 0-2 to Bird. Just off the outside corner.
Well, you get ahead in the count, then you can toy with that plate, and we know about Phil's control.
Frazier, the helmet on the bottom of your screen after his leadoff double. High fly, right center field. Hunter back. Santana lets Hunter catch it. Frazier played it halfway out, number 2.
Yeah, actually, Torrey did the right thing in calling Santana off because he had the best angle right there. If Santana catches it, Frazier may tag up and go to third. It's just a high fly ball, but that's a short porch out in right field. Torrey on the warning track, picks it up, calls Santana off. And you can see his momentum able to get that ball in a lot better if Santana had to come across.
2 down. Frazier still at second. Here's Barnhart. That's to left. And retreating is Rosario. 3 more fly ball outs. Frazier left at second after his leadoff double.
Next, by NorthlandFord.com and your local Northland Ford dealer. And by Grand Casino. The best stories start here.
In case you're wondering, well, my goodness, why are they just in the top of the third? Because we had a delay at the start of this game for 2 hours and 1 minute. It was one of those situations where with the technology that we have, and the technology's great, of course, we got started late. Torrey Hunter didn't let the delay bother him, however.
No, he didn't. A home run, second batter of the ball game. Torrey hits his 12th home run. Twins take a 1-0 lead. And he added one more in the second.
It'll be Hunter, Mauer, and Plouffe here in the third inning. Single runs for the Twins in the first and second inning. Remember, I suppose 12 years ago, maybe even 15 years ago, we had the same thing happen in Cleveland. The game was delayed because of the threat of rain. Now, it was raining at the scheduled start time at 7:10 Eastern, but it stopped about 7:30, and the grounds crew didn't roll the tarp off, roll the water off, or anything. They didn't prep the field, and it didn't rain and didn't rain and didn't rain, even though it looked like it was going to. And finally, they said, all right, we're going to start it at 9:10. 2 strikes to Hunter.
That must be an Ohio thing.
I don't know. You do your best. You try to make an educated guess, but then you're reminded that Mother Nature still is in charge, and she will do whatever she wants to do. Foul back, 1-2. Torrey was behind in the count in the first inning until he evened the count at 2-2 and then hit the home run. Backs away from a breaking ball, and now it's 2-2.
He almost hurt Torrey from up here.
Got a pitch up and missed it. We've seen Torrey do this on a couple of road trips. He did it in the Cleveland-Detroit road trip. Just pretty much took the team on his back and started bashing extra base hits everywhere. DeSclafani strikes him out here for the first out of the third.
Strikeout number 4.
This road trip will end in Kansas City, and it will end with Ervin Santana making his first start for the big league club, and quite a tune-up in Rochester tonight. 8 innings, just 5 hits, no runs allowed, 99 pitches. And so
looks like he's ready.
Looks like he's ready. We'll find out, get our first major league look at Santana in a Twins uniform Sunday. Of course, he had to sit out the first 80 games with the PED suspension. Strike called to Mauer. Joe struck out swinging his first time up. Struck out on a cutter or a breaking ball down and in. And up the middle of base hit. Ready for that pitch in the inner half. A fastball, and he lined it to center. And that'll bring up Plouffe.
Yeah, Twins get their 4th hit of the ball game.
Plouffe with a single his first time up. Hit the ball hard, but dropped it into center field for a single. Over the course of the road trip, Trevor has his batting average over 250. Big chopper. And out at second. And a double play. Not the type of ball you'd expect a double play to be turned on, but it was. And it's 2-0 Twins.
Cutter just like me.
I definitely face him a lot.
Dominant, aggressive, strike thrower.
He's a great one to have in the rotation.
Going out there every 5th day, giving us a chance to win.
He's turned it around. 2014, he had a great season.
Good guy to have.
Very good guy to have. You know what? And if you're a defensive player, you love playing behind a guy like Phil Hughes because you know he's going to attack that strike zone. And first pitch, second, third, usually that offensive player tries to put the ball in play against Phil.
Front door cutter perhaps getting strike 1 on Suarez, who started that nifty double play. And now strike 2.
And just like that, 25 pitches, 20 strikes for Phil Hughes.
And when you do that, that's what helps allow you to pitch 8 innings at a time because the pitch count doesn't become a factor.
Got 12 in the first, 11 in the second. That's all he needed to get the 6 out so far.
missed the inside corner. 1-2. Suarez, DeSclafani, and Hamilton in the Cincinnati third. Hit hard to center. Santana going back, still going back, and gone. A home run. Suarez is second of the year, and it's a 2-1 ball game.
That looked like a cutter that just stayed up, and Suarez makes it a 2-1 ball game. I mentioned last night, I cannot wait until the home run hitting contest here. Ball flies out of this ballpark.
Well, you leave one up around the belt, and even a number 8 hitter can hit it out of the deepest part of the park here. No, I haven't seen enough of Suarez, but Hughes, I'm sure admittedly, would tell you he hung a pitch, but my goodness, at Target Field, I don't know if that ball goes out. Here's the pitcher, and he hits one to center. Santana tracking this for the first out. And that'll bring up Hamilton. Tonight's Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. And Billy Hamilton leading the majors in stolen bases. D. Gordon got an inside the park home run tonight. And eventually the Twins will have to deal with Jose Altuve and his base stealing ability as well. Got on base 4 times last night. Stole 4 bases. As we were talking during the rain delay, the only good thing about what happened last night, ball 1, for Twins fans, is it gave them a glimpse of what Hamilton or Byron Buxton type speed can do in a ball game.
I mean, look what it does to Trevor Plouffe right there. He's, you know what, 60 feet from Hamilton. Brings in Mauer at first. Dozier has to play a shorter second, as Nunez at short.
1-2, and that'll back Trevor up a little bit. Not much. He's still well in on the grass. 1-2. But Hamilton considered the fastest guy in the National League. And once he establishes himself, maybe Byron Buxton will have that reputation very quickly too. 1-2. Not yet. Hamilton has the advantage of being a left-handed batter. Buxton, of course, hits from the right side of the dish. And there's a base hit to center. Teams have stolen 6 times in 8 tries against Phil Hughes, and now he'll be challenged with Hamilton's speed at first.
On last night's ball game, it started off with that infield base hit. That's the drag bunt that he later scored the first run for the Reds. And in the second inning, not only stole second, also stole third. And then, sad to say, he was up again in the 3rd inning. And later in the 5th, that infield base hit. So 4 stolen bases.
Thought about it and held up. DeJesus takes a pitch over the inside corner, strike 1.
Now, a guy like Phil Hughes, he's not going to pick off anybody. He's never had a pickoff in the big league. So, you know, all you try to do is make Hamilton stop. That's all you can do. Well, we showed last night, he keeps those feet moving.
On our conference call this morning, Jack Morris said, you know, the best way to do it, if you're Hughes or any pitcher, hold the ball. The problem is that also can help mess up a pitcher's rhythm.
Right. And that's what Phil's doing right here, holding it.
And time called at the plate.
There's been 71 total stolen bases against Phil Hughes in 90 tries. And no career pickoffs.
Double play grounder. 4-6-3.
That's how you get them off the base paths.
Phil Hughes doesn't get too many of those, just his 5th of the year, but it came at a good time. report. Reds are hoping that they don't have to put Brandon Phillips on the disabled list. He's got a problem with both hands.
Yeah, he was out earlier taking ground balls and then also hitting in the cage. So I don't know if it's just probably day to day for Brandon Phillips. There he is right there.
Here's Eddie Rosario to start the 4th inning for the Twins. Twins have had at least one hit in every inning. Ball 1. Do you remember where you were 20 years ago tonight?
I wasn't in Cincinnati, that's for darn sure. Were we together at the Dome?
We were at the Metrodome and we watched some baseball history. Can you tell me what it was?
Probably the guy that got his first major league hit off of me.
Well, there were a lot of guys. Ooh.
No,
narrow it down.
This one, and then he got 3,000.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Ground ball, base hit to right. Leadoff hit for Rosario here in the 4th.
Is that Eddie Murray?
Eddie Murray at the Metrodome against Mike Tremblay 20 years ago tonight.
Yeah, about 20 years prior to that, he got his first one off of me in Baltimore. And I see Eddie, of course, at the Hall of Fame, and I don't know why they keep reminding me all these things, you know.
Well, you were talking about Jay Bell. Went up and he gave you a big hug, I understood.
No, they didn't give me a hug.
Here's Nunez. Chopped a double down the left field line. Rosario skidded on the base. Stepped on the base getting back, and he
slipped
right off the top of it. I'm looking at a nearly full moon. I don't think it's raining. Swing and a foul off of Barnhart and back to the screen. You know, for a while we had a pretty good run of 3,000 hit documentation on Twins TV. We did 4 in a row.
Yeah, Dave Winfield,
Paul Molitor, Eddie Murray, and Cal Ripken.
Yep.
And foul back again.
Nunez, he's upset right there. He should have driven that ball. You can almost see it in his face and his reaction. Nunez doubled in his first at bat. And Rosario at first base. 8 attempts of stolen bases, successful in 6 of them.
Two strikes to Nunez. And a half swing, but he went. Nunez is gone for the first out. That'll bring up Suzuki. Indians have already won, beating Tampa Bay 6-2. Terry Francona called a team meeting yesterday, and the team is 2-0 since. Call more team meetings. Suzuki hit a ground ball up the middle, advanced Nunez from second to third. And the Reds pitch out. Twins hoped to do a little more base stealing and running this year, and it really hasn't worked out that well. Twins stolen base percentage not very good. They have stolen 35, but they've been thrown out 24 times. On the outside corner, 1-1.
Suzuki looking down at Gene Glenn, third base coach.
And Rosario flushed back to the bag. And we're only in the fourth inning because of a rain delay of a little more than 2 hours at the start of the game. Reds their 15th rain delay this year. Crack to left, Suzuki with a sharp single. Dancing Rosario to second base. And that'll bring up Santana. Santana got an RBI in the second inning. Nunez was at third with one out. Santana hit a hard one hopper to Votto, who was drawn in. And Votto seemed to have a hard time getting a grip on the baseball, and then when he did get a grip, he threw it wildly. Santana reached and then advanced on a wild pickoff throw to third base. Was left there in the inning. Pitches up, ball one. Chopped foul.
You know, Shane Robinson was a late scratch, and sometimes, you know, a guy like Danny Santana, he feels a lot of pressure, not doing as well as he did last year. Maybe the last minute, hey, you're in the lineup.
No time to think about it.
Right. Let's see how he fares here tonight.
A big at bat. You saw Phil Hughes on deck. Twins would like to get Santana aboard here before the pitcher hits. Taken, and the ball past Barnhart. Now we'll see how the Reds play this. There's only one out in the inning, but now a base is open and the pitcher's spot is due up.
Difference between the American League and the National League right here.
Wild pitch charge.
See how Brian Price, the manager, wants to go about his business here with Santana.
Down just a run. They've got the infield back. They're conceding another run here. Doesn't mean they'll pitch to Santana, but they do not have the infield in like they did in the second inning. 2-1. Fouled away, 2-2. One of Santana's issues, of course, has been making contact. 190 at bats, 51 strikeouts. And AAA did a great job. A lot of extra base hits.
His biggest problem is that breaking ball down and in.
2-2. DeSclafani. Fouled away.
We hung one right there.
High fastball got him. 2 down. Run or skate in the RBC Race for the Kids Minnesota Half Marathon and 5K, benefiting Ronald McDonald House Charities Upper Midwest on Saturday, August 1st. The top fundraiser wins a trip for 2 to Grand Cayman. For more details, visit foxsportsnorth.com. Click on upcoming events. Phil Hughes made pretty solid contact his first time up, hitting it to DeJesus.
Well, he's never had a major league run batted in. Let's see if he can pick up maybe a couple here.
Inside ball 1.
Help your own cause if you can.
Outside 2-0.
And with a pitcher up, outfield playing very shallow.
Two and 0 to Hughes. Chopper over the mound. Fielded by Suarez, and he throws Hughes out. Didn't have enough oomph behind the chop. And the Twins leave 2 in the 4th.
see the wheels turning in between pitches. He was trying to figure out ways to almost create pitches that he didn't even really have in his arsenal to try to get through it. And now the last couple times out there, he's gone back to what he did last year. What we saw, in which we saw, was very effective. You know, use his four-seamer, back people off when you have to, cutters moving both sides of the plate, and that curveball has become a lot better too. I think it's got a little more bite lately. And it's taken some time, but I think he understands Neil's approach about using that changeup. He's not going to throw a ton. He's gotten some outs on it. I think at least it has the other team having to include that in their mix of how to try to prepare for him, the fact that he's throwing it maybe 7 to 10 times a game.
Hughes gave up a home run. He's already given up more home runs, 2 more than he did all of last year. But he's got a 2-1 lead, and he'll face Joey Votto. Down and in, ball 1.
See, and that curveball right there is almost like a changeup too, because you can add and subtract on that curveball, which Phil does. That was kind of a hopefully get over strike 1 that Votto took.
Outside 2-0. Votto hit a liner to Rosario his first time up. Then it'll be Frazier and Bruce. Left center, and Rosario again makes the catch, 1 away. Carsoup.com trivia: what are the ingredients in Cincinnati chili? No. Who is the Reds' all-time franchise leader in home runs and runs batted in? The Big Red Machine had how many Hall of Famers? Perez, Morgan, Bench. Rose is on the team.
Oh, Frank Robinson.
Frank
was
Robinson,
here for a while.
yeah. Kluszewski had his best years here in a Reds uniform. Ted Kluszewski. Fouled back a strike. Now you're going to try some of the Cincinnati chili tomorrow. They're serving it in the press dining room. Here are the ingredients. I've never heard of such a thing. And I actually had some first time we came here, just because you go to Philadelphia, you got to have a cheesesteak sandwich,
a Skyline
right?
chili down in Fort Myers.
Oh, really?
I have had it there.
Popped up near the Reds dugout. Mauer calling for it. He's got it. Out number 2. Hamburger, mock turtle soup, chocolate, chili powder, cinnamon, and some other secret ingredients.
Now, see, that doesn't sound good.
No, it does
when
not.
When you combine it all together, it's pretty good.
You know, thankfully, in the upper Midwest, we don't have any peculiar food items like that. Oh, cool. Sure, we have lutefisk, right? Which is, what, cod soaked in lye or something like that.
Uh-oh. Go foul.
Deep down the line, it is foul. And, of course, there's beans in the Cincinnati chili.
You have to have the beans.
You have to have the beans. Outside, 1-1. Bruce hit a fly ball to center. Except for the double play grounder, every out has been on a pop-up, line drive, or fly ball.
And that's Phil. He doesn't get a lot of ground balls. He got that ground ball off of De Jesus to turn the double play. That was a big ground ball out.
But no strikeouts yet. We've seen those come in bunches, sometimes in the middle innings. Maybe there'll be a few to come here yet for Hughes. It's his 43rd pitch. And there's one right there. A called third strike, a backdoor cutter, and it's a 1-2-3-4.
Yeah, did you see that? Before the ball game, you could bring your pet to the ballpark and you walked them around the zoo animal, whatever, your pet. Well, I mean, that guy had a weasel on a stick or something?
I don't know.
I don't know what the heck that was. That's his pet.
Those are Pepsi fans of the game, and they are here cheering on the Twins. They've left their pets and farm animals and zoo animals at home.
Was that a pig? One of them was a pig, I believe.
Mm-hmm. The march to the press dining room is what I thought it was.
Well, that's his pet. That's a pet.
You can't have a pet like that.
People have those. I don't know them, but people have those.
Dozier with a foul on the first pitch. And a liner to center on the second pitch. Hit it right over the head of the second baseman, who was shifted. And Dozier gets another leadoff hit. It's the third leadoff hit for the Twins here tonight.
Yeah, 7th hit for the Twins. We get Dozier around.
Yeah, the Twins will need to add on here. They got a run on the first, one in the second. The first run scoring on a Hunter home run. Then DeSclafani struck him out in the third. And there goes Dozier on a hit and run. And the veteran Hunter spanks a sharp single to right.
Perfectly executed.
First and third, nobody out.
DeJesus, the second baseman, was covering the bag, and Brian Dozier fist pumping Torrey Hunter over there. Perfectly executed hit and run. Ball away. Torrey just taking that pitch the other way. And you see where DeJesus was and where he went. Opened up that door at second base.
And now Mauer. See what the Reds do with their infield here. Votto holding Hunter. Frazier about even with the bag at third, and the middle infielders will play at double play depth.
You know, we haven't seen that many hit and runs this year. That was perfectly executed.
I think in the second half we will see more of that, and it depends on the personnel. If the Twins have Buxton or Hicks, or Buxton and Hicks, if they have a little more speed in the lineup, I think we'll see the running game a little more emphasized. 1-0 to Mauer. And strike call. 1-1. Joe with 37 runs batted in, despite a modest batting average, because he has hit well with runners in scoring position. Hit to center. Hamilton with the catch. Tagging and coming in is Dozier.
Yeah, one thing, Hamilton, you can run on his arm. Yeah, Mauer picks up an RBI, is 38.
3 well hit balls here to start the 5th inning, and the lead is back to 2. Plouffe singled his first time up, and then he chopped one toward the hole, but Suarez got the first hop and started a 6-4-3 double play. Foul back, a strike. Hunter at first with 1 away. And swing, strike 2. Paul Molitor employing the hit and run, the ensuing base hit. led to the third run of the game. In the dirt, smothered by Barnhart. Twins have scored in 3 of the 5 innings so far. They had a threat in the 4th thanks to a pair of singles, left 2 men in scoring position. They've had some chances here. And we talked about this the other day. You know, a run is a run. You'll take them whether they come in 3s or 1s, but when you score or threaten to score in most innings, that's a better sign than somebody with 1 swing giving you 3 runs and then you don't even threaten for the next 3-4 innings.
Yeah, I mean, there's 8 hits so far in this ball game here with the 1 out in the 5th inning. So everybody contributing.
An RBI and a single. 2-2. Chopper to short. And another double play grounder off the bat of Plouffe. But the Twins get a pair of singles and a run in the 5th.
Games, you bring your Circle Me signs, you might find yourself in a Minnesota Lottery's winner circle where you could win $100 worth of scratch-off tickets courtesy of the Minnesota Lottery. I saw some Twin fans down here earlier with some signs, but with the rain and everything, the signs might have got wet.
Phil Hughes with a 2-run lead again. He'll face Bird, Barnhart, and Suarez here in the 5th.
Only 43 pitches for Phil Hughes, 33 strikes.
Swing and a miss, strike 1.
11 of 15 batters now face first pitch strikes.
Cutter fouled away. Off-speed pitch, way out in front of it. Bird grounds to Plouffe, 1 away. It's the 3rd ground ball out Dozier's Deck is back for this year. On August 29th, it's a special offer including a Skyline Deck ticket and a Dozier Blaze Orange camo jersey t-shirt. Portion of the proceeds from every ticket sold benefits Pheasants Forever. Call 800-33-TWINS or visit twinsbaseball.com/Dozier Deck. One of my favorite nonprofits, Pheasants Forever. Here is Barnhart. You ever gone bird hunting?
One time when I was 19 years old, a guy named Shorty Deco invited me to go to northern Minnesota. We went pheasant hunting.
Really?
Yeah. Well, of course, we walked the fields like you do.
Right.
We all shot our shotgun, and they said I hit a bird, and I know I didn't.
Was it a pheasant?
It was a pheasant.
Was
yes.
it a male pheasant?
I have no idea. I didn't check.
Well, they probably should have told you this before. The males are very colorful, and the females are drab, brown, grayish, and so if you shot one that has,
Wait a minute. Is it against the law to shoot like a female?
Yes.
No, then it was a male.
Oh, it was? Okay. Yeah. Statute of limitations has run out, so if you. Here's Suarez with a runner at first and one down. He clubbed a home run over the center field fence.
I know you're big at pheasant.
Oh, I love it. Yep, love it. Grew up with it in western Minnesota, and it's one of the highlights of my off season is to get out somewhere where there are a lot of male pheasants. Hughes got a ground ball double play to end the third. See if he can get another one here in the fifth. 1-1. Suarez is probably hitting a little bit better than the Reds thought he would. He's not fielding as well. Had 6 errors on the just completed Reds road trip. 1-1. Fouled away. 1-2. Here's his home run leading off the third inning.
Pitch left up right here by Phil. And Suarez taking it to straightaway center over the 404 mark.
One and two. DeSclafani is on deck. And Suarez got a piece of it. Fouled it right over the pitcher's head.
Suarez started the season in the minor leagues for the Reds in his first season, coming over from the Tigers. Called up on June 11th. 23 years old, from Venezuela.
Hughes with a long look in. Now he's ready. Inside. 2-2. Reds gave up Alfredo Simon, who's been a fixture in the Tiger rotation, to get Suarez. Once it became apparent to the Tigers that Jose Iglesias' legs were okay, then they felt comfortable trading Suarez. And he takes a called third strike. 2 down.
Phil Hughes picking up his second strikeout. Both of them called third strike. Struck out Jay Bruce to end last inning. Suzuki sitting away. Ball pretty much right over the heart of the plate. The lower part of the strike zone.
And now the pitcher, DeSclafani. If Brandon Phillips is unavailable to play tonight, even off the bench, then that leaves Brian Price with a 3-man bench. He, like Paul Molitor, has a 13-man pitching staff. There's a ball fouled over the Reds dugout. And we saw that come into play last night, where the Reds had their pitcher Mike Leake hit, even though he was going to be substituted for. One strike. popped up, back, and out of play. 2 strikes. Keuchel beat the Royals tonight 4-0. Twins have fallen 5.5 games back. Chance to pick up a game tonight. Outside 1-2. You got the Royals playing about .600 baseball, and the Astros with a win getting closer to it. And then a big clot of teams that are winning more than they're losing, but they're all, it seems, within a couple games of one another. Tampa Bay, Orioles, Twins, Yankees, Toronto, Detroit. That's to center. And DeSclafani has a base hit. Came into the game hitting 185. And he extends the inning and gets Hamilton to the plate with 2 men aboard.
Yeah, right off the end of the bat, just flares it into center field.
DeSclafani with now 6 hits on the year and 29 at bats. Here's Hamilton, single to center his last time up. As we said last night, even though he reached 4 times last night, getting on base has been the biggest issue for Hamilton. Having reached 4 times last night, his on base percentage coming into tonight's game still just .273. That's to left. Rosario with the catch.
Ooh,
had to fight the lights.
Yep.
Reds leave 2 aboard through 5. The Twins lead by 2. Tough task tomorrow. They'll have to face Johnny Cueto. And as Bert mentioned before, the Twins have scattered a bunch of hits throughout the lineup. And even Danny Santana 0 for 2, but he's got an RBI and a ground ball.
Yeah, Torrey Hunter kind of got it going with his 12th home run, that solo home run in the first inning. And everybody so far doing their job. Phil Hughes, 5 very good innings on only 59 pitches.
Eddie Rosario, Eduardo Nunez, and Kurt Suzuki will bat against DeSclafani here in the 6th. It's of great value if you're a pitcher like DeSclafani who can at least have a chance at getting a hit. He got a base hit, and his abilities as a hitter may have helped keep him in the ball game. And so he's out there pitching in the 6th.
Yeah, 79 pitches, 56 strikes.
I think I mentioned I was many times. I've mentioned it. I was a big Stratomatic player, a dice game you played, and you had a card. And I still remember, the great hitting pitchers of the Stratomatic games I played. Drysdale, Mudcat Grant, Jim Cott.
Yeah. Jim Perry was a good hitter. You didn't have my card, did you?
You were and only the Stratomatic players who are watching know what this means. You were a pitcher's hitting card number 1.
So it means I struck out a lot?
Yeah, there were a lot of strikeouts on the pitcher's hitting card number 1.
Shoot.
1-1 to Rosario. Cott was a pitcher's hitting card number 4.
He's a good hitter.
That's as good as they got.
Check one more off my bucket list, I guess. Didn't make it.
Well, when I introduce you at banquets or whatever, I say, hey, you were number 1.
Now I know what you mean.
Now you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. 2-2. Rosario singled, got as far as third base in the 4th inning. Twins left 2 men in scoring position. Like to get aboard again here in the 6th to set up Nunez, perhaps.
We got that base hit between first and second.
Popped up left field. Bird coming in. 1 down. That'll bring up Nunez, who chopped a double over the head of Frazier, leading off the 2nd. Later scored on the Santana ground ball. It'll be interesting to see how things evolve and whether Paul Molitor will be able to stabilize his lineup a little bit in the second half. It's been kind of a mystery position, a shortstop position, so important to a team, but the manager doesn't know from one day to the next whether he's going to have Nunez there, Santana there, Escobar there. Ooh, wicked hop. Frazier didn't field it. It skips into left field. Pretty well hit ball for Nunez, who will end up at first base on, well, I won't even begin to guess.
Well, I'll tell you what, when Nunez does make contact, I think Frazier knows he should have caught that ball. It should be an error.
That's what I thought.
Oh, they protect him well. Nunez will take that. Ball hits sharply. Again, when he makes good contact, ball jumps off his bat. That ball got to Frazier in a hurry and came up a lot quicker than he anticipated. So Nunez gets his second hit.
Suzuki pulled a single to left his last time up. Nunez took one, maybe 2 steps towards second, then pulled up. It's said of good teams that they're strong up the middle. Well, before you can be strong up the middle, you need to be stable up the middle. And they're, again, center field situations in chaos right now because of injury. Hopefully that'll resolve itself in the second half. But then, too, it's short. It's tough to have any continuity in your lineup or in your infield when you're rotating shortstops all the time.
Yeah, but I find it a little bit interesting because Nunez has played the outfield before, and Rosario could have moved over to center or moved to left field, and then you could have put Santana at short. But instead, he decided to move Rosario to left, put Santana out in center field.
Nunez steals second base, and the helmet lies halfway between first and second.
Yeah, Nunez with his 3rd stolen base of the year in 6 attempts.
Saw the Twins use the hit and run to produce a run in the 5th. We'll see if the stolen base leads to a run.
I got a good jump right there. Barnhart's throw a little high. I think Nunez would have beaten it even on a good throw.
And now Suzuki can get a run in with a hit to the outfield here. Missing the inside corner. It's 3-0. Santana on deck. Single runs for the Twins in innings 1, 2, and 5, and now a threat again in the 6th. Taking all the way, and it's a strike. Chopper Nunez will advance. And he's at third base now with 2 down.
Yeah, he read that ball well with that high hop. Nunez scoots over to third.
So we'll see.
6-3 put out.
See what Danny Santana gets to hit here with 2 outs, a runner at third, and the pitcher due up next.
I think I saw Price. Yeah, they're going to go ahead and walk Danny Santana.
Be an intentional walk to Santana, and that'll bring Hughes to the plate with runners at first and third and 2 down. Hughes so far tonight has made contact twice, once rather sharply, hitting a ground ball to DeJesus at second, then a chopper over the mound. But you'd have to say then, continuing with the theme, that Phil Hughes is a pitcher's hitting card number 1.
Now, wait a minute. You know what? I mean, he hasn't even had a major league hit yet. I had 60 of them.
Well,
so
no,
how can you
don't get sensitive now.
He should be a minus.
He has made contact twice. We'll see what he can do here.
Swing hard in case you hit it.
Down low, ball 1. DeSclafani had a hard time throwing Hughes strikes in the 4th inning. Fell behind him 2-0. Low again, 2-0. So Hughes is 0 for 14 with 6 strikeouts.
He's going to get a cookie right here. Hit it sharply. Pick up your first major league RBI right here.
Oh, at the knees.
Oh, Phil can't believe it.
Well, a walk here would be huge for the Twins because their top home run hitter's on deck. 2-1. Now 2-2. Left 2 men on in the 4th. They've grounded into 2 double plays. Nice to get a clutch 2-out hit from an unlikely source. Santana goes, and it's ball 3. Hughes backed away, and DeSclafani was heading toward its dugout.
Yeah, I think Phil was walking back to the dugout. Fastball away.
Wow, that's a strike, isn't it? Yeah. Full count to Hughes, a base open. And Dozier on deck. On the ground, gobbled up by DeJesus. And the Twins leave 2 more in scoring position. It's 3-1.
presented by Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. By Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. And by McDonald's. Try the new 100% sirloin third-pound burgers, starting at $4.99 at McDonald's.
Later than hoped for start, but so far so good for the Twins. Phil Hughes will pitch to DeJesus, Votto, and Frazier in the Cincinnati sixth. DeJesus lined out to Nunez and then bounced into a double play in the third. Down and away, ball one. I mentioned before that at the end of this road trip, the Twins will insert liner right behind Phil Hughes into center field, a leadoff single. And that'll bring up Votto. Twins will insert Irvin Santana into the rotation. He had his final Rochester tune-up, 8 shutout innings, 5 hits. And the Twins will presumably take someone out of the rotation. But there will, with the inclusion now of Santana, be more of a veteran presence, one would think. You would expect Phil Hughes to stay in the rotation, certainly. And Mike Pelfrey's had a couple of disappointing starts in June, but you would expect him as well to stay in the rotation. Tommy Milone may be the best Twins starter through the month of June, so you'd expect him to stay, and then you've got Kyle Gibson and Trevor May. 1-0 to Votto. A liner to left and a fly ball to left. Taken for a strike. That part of it sounds nice if the Twins are to stay relevant and play competitive games through July, through August, and into September. I think everyone should feel more comfortable having some veterans who've gone through that process before. Hughes did with the Yankees. Santana did with a couple of clubs, principally the Angels. Milone with Oakland. One and one to Joey Votto. Missing inside, and Suzuki will have a check.
You know, a lot of times when you get a guy like Santana, of course, he spent the whole spring training with the Twins, so it's not like he's walking into an empty clubhouse that he doesn't know anybody.
Right.
Quick trip to the mound by Suzuki. It's almost like, you know, right now you're making a trade to get a quality starter in that rotation starting on Sunday the 5th.
Two and one. And now 3-1. Hughes has pitched 103 2/3 innings this year and walked 9 men. And he does not want to put another runner aboard for Frazier.
And he doesn't want to make a mistake in on Votto. Last couple outs that Votto hit were fastballs away to Rosario in left field.
3-1.
Suzuki creeping outside.
Fly ball center field, and Santana sprints in for the catch. One away. Looked like he might have cracked his bat. One down. Check some news and notes from around baseball. Danny Salazar with a good outing. Another potential perfect game. We've had more and more of those with hitters struggling all around baseball. Another 5 perfect inning effort by Salazar. Keuchel with 8 shutout innings, and Chris Sale with 12 more strikeouts. 8 straight games with 10 or more strikeouts. Chris Sale would probably be named the starting pitcher for the American League in the All-Star game if it weren't for his outings against the Twins. He's dominated everybody else, and the Twins have beaten him 3 times in a row. 1-0 to Frazier. And now a strike. In the 10th inning at Comerica Park, Pirates and Tigers are tied at 4. Justin Verlander with a bit of a wobbly start tonight for Detroit. One and one to Frazier. Hold back 1-2. This July, baseball's best players will be here in Cincinnati for the Midsummer Classic. Home field advantage for the World Series is on the line. Coverage of the 2015 MLB All-Star Game begins July 14th at 6 p.m. Central on Fox. Streaming live on Fox Sports Go. 1-2 to the dangerous Todd Frazier. He will be here. He might be in the home run derby in front of his hometown fans.
Suzuki's going to go out and talk about this pitch right here to Frazier. Yeah, Frazier made the All-Star team last year.
Both Todd Frazier and Brian Dozier were in the home run derby. You saw the rain showers that fell during Brian's effort out there. Then the rainbow came. Frazier did well. Got him looking with the front door cutter.
Frazier can't believe it. The last couple cutters away, and that time Phil goes inside. So Hughes picks up his third strikeout. All of them called third strike.
That's the pitch that just wasn't there as frequently in the first 2 months of the year.
Well, Fox Track says it's inside a little bit, but watch Suzuki hold it. Good framework by the catcher.
2 down, and now Bruce. Fly ball to center, and he was called out on strikes in the 4th. Hughes can't get it. But right there is the shortstop Nunez to the bag, and another scoreless inning for Phil Hughes. Fan photo. Use hashtag NorthDataStrongFan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. Dick and Bert and Jamie here in Cincinnati. We got started 2 hours and 1 minute late because of rain, but more the threat of rain that never really materialized. Dozier will lead off the 7th. He'll be followed by Hunter and Mauer. And Dozier takes a strike. Brian led off the 5th with a single, went to 3rd on Hunter's single, scored on a fly ball, 1-1. Brian staring at a fairly wide open right side of the infield with the pole shift. He's being pitched away regularly. And it'll be interesting to see when or if he just decides to take what's being given him and start picking up hits through the right side. Not when you can do that.
He's amazing.
Another one will rattle around in the corner and he'll go into second with a double.
You know, it just seems like the Reds' plan is to pitch him down and away, but they keep making mistakes inside, and Brian keeps hitting that ball down the left field line. A home run in last night's ball game.
You know, I think that there's a stigma attached that shouldn't be attached when you call someone a mistake hitter, when in reality that's one of the best compliments you can pay a hitter.
It looked like a spinner right there. It didn't really break, but Brian took advantage of it right down that left field line. Another extra base hit, his 24th double of the year.
See what Torrey can get done here with Dozier at second. And a strike called, and Hunter in disbelief looks back at David Rackley. Frazier wasn't too happy with an inside strike called on him, and that was strike 3. Torrey none too pleased that strike 1 was called there. One and one. Single runs for the Twins in the 1st, 2nd, and 5th inning, and a great chance again here in the 7th. Fouled away. 1-2. Torrey has that swing. It's something he's developed over the years. We saw him in Detroit, and I'll bet you most of the hits he got against the Twins were opposite field hits. Something he didn't do well early in his career. Looked like on that swing he was trying to hit the ball to the right side. Now it's 1-2. Long look in, and Torrey's tired of waiting. Lifted foul. The mantra used through spring training and into the regular season during batting practice in a situation like this: trade places with him. It's come from Tom Bernansky and probably indirectly Paul Molitor. Yeah, it's important to advance hitters when you can, but there's nothing wrong with a double in a situation like this.
Well, I think a lot depends on who the hitter is,
right,
too. Torrey right here, he's looking to drive that ball somewhere.
And Dozier will advance to 3rd on a wild pitch.
Second wild pitch of the ball game.
Very likely he'll draw the infield in now.
Barnhart trying to smother this breaking ball. The ball getting to his right, and Dozier, watch Dozier right here react. Sees the ball get away and scoots over to 3rd.
Infield is in, and the count is now 2-2 to Hunter.
Ouch.
Came inside, and a little short foul, and Barnhart slid into the padded wall right behind home plate. Starting to rain. Some of the fans who waited more than 2 hours to get this game started heading for cover. Another 2-2 to Hunter. Swing and a miss. Foul tip.
Barnhart hangs on, one down. Torrey with 2 hits and 2 strikeouts. That'll bring up Mauer.
Even though that rain delay, take a look at this pitch down that Torrey swings through. Barnhart able to hold on to it. Fans got to watch the USA women's defeat Germany 2-0. Congratulations to the USA.
Advancing to the championship now. Infield in for Mauer. He drove in a run with a fly ball his last time up. Down and in, ball 1. Looking for RBI number 39. 2-0. Now, a decision perhaps for the Reds. Trevor Plouffe has already bounced into 2 double plays, and he's in the on deck circle. Two and 0 to Mauer. 3-0. Joe hasn't had anything good to swing at here.
Yeah, here it is, the 7th inning. You don't want the Twins to add another run right here. You do have first base open.
Mauer takes a 4-pitch walk. So now Plouffe, who singled, might have cracked his bat in the process, but he singled in the first. Then he ended the 3rd and 5th on ground ball double plays to short. Twins do not have a hit with a runner in scoring position yet tonight. 0 for 9. Again here, fly ball to the outfield wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Badenhop warming up for the 2nd time. There goes Mauer, and Plouffe tried to hit it behind him. 1 strike. The hit and run worked for the Twins back in the 5th inning, and they tried it again in the 7th. Big spot here for Trevor Plouffe. Driven foul, 2 strikes. Rain picking up in intensity a little bit. And Trevor's got to wipe some of the rain dripping from the bill of his helmet. 0-2. Chop to the right side. Flipped there. There'll be no relay to first. That was a very slow chopper to the right side. The bottom line, Dozier comes in from 3rd, and the Twins get a run in.
Yeah, not much the defense can do right there. Jesus maybe had a chance to run at Joe Mauer, but Joe looked like he stopped right here.
Well,
and then got past DeJesus, so the only play he had. DeJesus almost has to, I guess, steal that ball and try to get Plouffe at home.
Well, they're going to look. Well, now Mauer is coming off the field. He lingered at 2nd base as the Twins apparently were looking to see whether the shortstop Suarez had his foot on the bag.
A little backhand flip.
And he did. Well, Plouffe gets an RBI. It's a 4-1 lead.
Yeah, Dozier scoring for the 2nd time in a ball game.
And here's Rosario, 1 for 3.
Outside of ball. Twins with a base runner in every inning. A man in scoring position, counting the Hunter home run, in every inning but one. Drilled right field for Rosario. He's got his second line drive single to right.
Yeah, decent. Funny, really struggling here tonight. 122 pitches. Twins now have 10 hits in a ball game.
The pitching change will be made here in the 7th. Twins leading 4-1 and looking for more. Still without a hit with a man in scoring position. Nunez will have a chance against a new pitcher. It'll be Badenhop coming in as DeSclafani checks out.
Form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC.
DeSclafani threw 122 pitches, and now he leaves, and Burke Badenhop comes in.
Badenhop making his 28th relief appearance out of the bullpen. 28 2/3 innings, 32 hits allowed. He's walked 8, 2 intentional with 14 strikeouts. Badenhop in his first season with the Reds, last year with the Boston Red Sox.
Eduardo Nunez has a double and a single. And with 2 down in the inning, would like to put together their first multi-run inning tonight. There go the runners, and Nunez spins one back to the screen. Both Plouffe and Rosario had good jumps.
Yeah, Badenhop with that high leg kick too at 6'5". Nunez another good swing. Just fouled it straight back.
You know, one thing that I think Paul Molitor enjoys the most about his job is something he did last year as a coach. One strike and a look back. Get here particularly before the first game of the series. We get here hours before a game, and Molitor will be in the clubhouse or in his office looking at video of the pitcher that night, trying to pick up tendencies. And in the case of this relief pitcher, maybe a situation like this, a guy's got a big leg kick, he might be interested in getting that first pitch over and not focusing on the runners, and a great opportunity. Now, this is something, of course, the manager typically would deflect to one of his coaches, but that's something that Paul still does because that was, I think, one of the favorite parts of his game as a player. 1-1, and ball chopped to the right side, through past Votto.
Plouffe around third. He's coming in. The throw to third base hits Gene Glenn, or it would have gone perhaps into the Twins dugout. It is a base hit. And Gene Glenn so intent on stopping the runner, he stopped the baseball.
There's a camera well right behind Gene Glenn. Don't know if it would have went into the camera well or not, but your job as a coach is to, you see Bruce come up and Rosario right there rounding the back. Jay Bruce comes up and throws to third base. Gene Glenn accidentally gets in the way of the ball and ricochets back toward the infield. So Nunez picks up his third hit, driving in his 11th run.
And now a strike over the inside corner to Suzuki. Two men in scoring position. The Twins finally get a hit with a man in scoring position. It came from Nunez. And the lead growing to 5-1. Two more out there for Suzuki. Up the middle, it'll bleed through, and 2 runs will score. And the Twins finally get some hits with men in scoring position, 2 big ones here in the 7th.
Second hit by Kurt Suzuki. So the Twins open up the ball game now with a 7-1 lead.
And Gene Glenn is very relieved that Rosario ended up scoring this inning after.
Well, you know, a throw from right field, you expect that third baseman to at least catch it. You know,
Right.
Ball skipped by him, but Kurt Suzuki, base hit up the middle. Rosario, Nunez scores.
A 4-run 7th. 8th man to bat will be Santana. Hughes is on deck. Taking low, a ball. Santana drove in a run with a ground ball in the 2nd. Struck out in the 4th, drew an intentional walk in the 6th. One and one.
6 2/3 innings, 11 hits, 6 runs all earned, 2 walks, 1 of which.
Wayne Boyer, Brian Dunsing down in the pen. This has been a long half inning with the Twins scoring 4 times and pitching change in the middle of it, but Hughes is there in the on deck circle.
And Phil, only 71 pitches in the first 6 innings.
Mike Leake said something yesterday, and I bet you if you read the article, it really caught your eye. He had a terrible time after being given a 9-1 lead, and when the Reds were adding runs early in the ballgame, he said he got bored. And whether that had anything to do with what happened afterwards, if
how can he get bored with a 9-1 lead?
And Santana running down the line is thrown out to end the inning, but it's a good half inning for the Twins as they score 4 times.
Dozier probably unboard him.
Story of the game.
On a positive note, Torrey Hunter got the Twins on the board. A solo home run in the first inning. Twins took a 1-0 lead. Home run by Suarez. Yeah, Phil Hughes has been outstanding. 6 very good innings, 3 strikeouts, and of course no walks in the ball game. And we just saw the Twins pick up 4 runs to take a 7-1 lead. Kurt Suzuki with a 2-run single.
And Hughes out there now with a 6-run lead, 7-1. And it'll be Marlon Byrd, Tucker Barnhart, and Eugenio Suarez, and the pitcher spot is due up. Byrd swinging and missing again at Hughes' first offering. What the Twins had last year in Hughes is something they will rely on in the second half of this year. Got to the point, they of course didn't know what to expect at the start of the year. They had hopes that Hughes was going to be a reliable, effective starting pitcher, but they had those hopes for Ricky Nolasco too, and it didn't work out. But very quickly, Twins were able to count on Phil Hughes. Expect an outing like we've seen the last 2 games and even so far here tonight. And that's what the Twins are going to rely on, not just from Hughes, but from some of the other starters in the second half. Here's a pop-up down the right field line, and Torrey Hunter can't make the play in foul ground, tumbling on the warning track. He may have misjudged that for a while because it looked like he let up momentarily.
Make sure Torrey's okay. He'll be turning 40 next month. Just a fly ball right here. Torrey going after it and then kind of picking it up a little bit, and just comes up a bit short.
Just off the tip of his glove. One and two. Hit high and deep to left. And that one's not coming back.
He finally caught up to one of those fastballs. It was a high fastball for Byrd with his 13th home run of the year.
Seven to 2.
That fastball came running in, and Byrd and his power. He's always been able to hit home runs. Makes it a 7-2 ball game.
Reds got a leadoff home run in the third, and then Hughes just didn't really give the Reds much of a chance to score after that. Barnhart, the batter. Outside, ball 1. Rain has stopped, if you care about that. Pulled down the line, foul. In fact, they're staring up at that beautiful moon again.
Barnhart, quite a night last night. 4 hits, a first time in his career. He's had 4 hits in a ball game. Picked up a single in the 5th inning. Switch hitting catcher.
Fouled away. 1 and 2. Another liner foul, and it hit an empty seat. One and 2. Still nobody out here in the 7th. Missed inside, 2 and 2. Reds have gotten some leadoff hits here tonight. A leadoff double in the 2nd. They didn't score. Leadoff home run in the 3rd. Leadoff single in the 6th, and now another leadoff hit, a home run in the 7th. Hughes had kind of a, by his standards anyway, a long at bat with Bird. He ended up homering, and now another long one with Barnhart.
Well, the thing about Phil, he can go deep into the ball game because of what he's been able to do to get to this point. 12 pitches in the first, 11, 11, 9, 16, and 12. Came in with 71 pitches.
And now missing up and away. It's 3-2.
It's pitch number 83, so 12 pitches this inning, looking for the first out.
Hasn't walked anybody again tonight. Full count. And he walked him. Phil Hughes, maybe the long delay may have lost a bit of the edge here. A home run, a walk.
Hope he's not bored.
Carsoup.com trivia question. The all-time franchise leader in home runs and runs batted in. Bench, right?
That'd be Johnny Bench, wouldn't you think?
Yep. 389 home runs. He got you once in 13 at bats. You did all right against him.
I did okay, yeah. I'll have to remind him in about a month at the Hall of Fame.
Strike on the outside corner to Suarez. He has hit a home run to center, and then in the 5th was called out on strike.
No, he's still bigger than I am, so I'm not going to remind him. Well, he had a great career. Great catcher.
Neil Allen on the phone. Fouled away 2 strikes. Look at Bench, and of course, he came to Minnesota. The Reds had an exhibition series, I think the 2nd year of the Metrodome. And by then Johnny Bench was a third baseman. And it just looked odd to see him at third base. But you just wonder how many concussions, how many foul tips Johnny Bench had in his career. 2 strikes to Suarez. It's blocked by Suzuki. When we were here last 4 years ago, the Reds had a Hall of Fame induction ceremony, and Johnny Bench was here for that. You got a chance to meet Leo Cardenas for the first time.
Leo, former Twin, former teammate of mine, 1970.
1-2 to Suarez. Swing and a miss, got him.
The first swinging strikeout for Phil Hughes, his 4th of the ball game.
Now Schumacher, the pinch hitter, will hit in the pitcher spot.
Good breaking ball right here, a little cutter. Schumacher pinch hit in last night's ball game, ended up striking out.
Fouled away.
9 hits and 30 at bats as a pinch hitter.
Phil will answer whether he thought the long delay impacted his pitching at all in the 7th. But how were you in long innings? I mean, did you have any difficulty at all getting back into the flow of things?
No, I don't think I did, you know, because you get, if you hurry up and get out there, you get some extra throws too. And then, you know, you can go in and walk around the dugout and do some stretching, whatever you need to do. Try not to let that bother you because, you know, 4 runs, heck.
Take them, right?
Yeah.
Strike
I'll
1.
sit there for an hour.
Strike 2, rather. Well, I think I know what Leake was trying to say. It just didn't come off, I think, the way he intended it. He certainly struggled with the prosperity of an 8-run lead.
I think that happens to all good pitchers.
Dug out nicely by Suzuki. What a great save. Saved a base with Suarez, or excuse me, Barnhart at first.
Well, just on the other side of the plate, and Kurt Suzuki, night after night, doing a great job back there.
Suzuki to the mound. Pirates and Tigers are tied at 4 in the 11th inning. In the 11th inning in St. Louis, White Sox and Cardinals are tied. Cleveland won, Kansas City lost. One and two. Tap foul.
Phil Hughes coming off 2 straight wins against the Cubs and the White Sox at home, where he threw 95 pitches in both starts. This will be pitch number 93.
The backdoor cutter, but missed.
Phil making his 180th major league start, 78 wins, 66 losses. Made 50 relief appearances when he was with the Yankees.
Chop, and Hughes will make the play. Mauer retreats to the bag and eventually finds it. And on the play, Barnhart goes to second. 2 down. And now Billy Hamilton. Hamilton is 1 for 3 today. He's been on base 5 times in this series. Out hitting the Reds 13-7 at 7-2 as you see on the scoreboard. And strike 1 to Hamilton. Twins will leave Cincinnati after the game tomorrow. They'll deal with another speedy runner, Gerard Dyson. It doesn't start much, but he's if anything, more of a weapon on the bench than he would be starting. Just think of what a weapon that is. We've seen it in play. Kendrys Morales gets on in the late innings, and here comes Dyson. You can put that speed on the bases anytime you'd like in the last 3 innings, and that's something Ned Yost has done. 2 strikes to Hamilton. And outside. One and 2. Pulled foul. Hamilton came into this year with an on-base percentage of under 300. Four times more strikeouts than walks. And that's carried forward this year. 1 and 2 to Billy Hamilton. Chopped to short. Nunez will have to hurry, and he can't make the play.
Well, that's what speed does to a defender. And that's what they want Hamilton to do. You know, when he hits a fly ball out, he probably has to do push-ups or something. But when he beats that ball into the ground, that puts that defense on the defense. Nunez has to play the short hop. Tried to hurry his throw and has no chance. They're right in front of home plate.
How many times did we see Christian Guzman do that at the Metrodome? Just chop it in front of the plate. And Paul Molitor's going to come get the ball from Phil Hughes.
Good job by Hughes.
Very nice job. 6 2/3 innings, and he leaves with a 5-run lead.
Live Twins baseball every day with MLB.com at bat on your smartphone or tablet. Stay connected to the Twins all season with MLB.tv game of the day, in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, and more. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball.
Well, Blaine Boyer coming in relief, trying to get this final out here in the 7th inning, making his 37th relief appearance.
And this is the guy he wants to get because the power, the muscle in this Reds team is lined up behind DeJesus. 2 men on, 2 out. Liner to center, and here comes the muscle. It's 7-3. Barnhart scoring. It's an unearned run, of course, because of the error, but now first and second for Votto. Votto is 0 for 3. He's hit 3 outfield flies. His first one was hit on a line to Rosario. Still plenty of outs to get, 7 of them to be exact. And the Reds have 2 on the board here in the 7th inning. Trying to take advantage of the Nunez error. Fox Tracks presented by Carrier. Grounded right side. Dozier has it. Finds Boyer on the bank. Throws wildly. Nobody backing up the play, and a run will score. It rolls into the camera well. Dozier found the ball, found the pitcher, and then hooked his throw.
Yeah, Boyer was over there, is expecting a good throw. The throw was on the foul side, and a rare error will be charged to Brian Dozier. Made a great play right here. Maurer going to his right. He can't get it. Dozier dives for it, and it looked like he had trouble gripping that baseball.
And the ball thankfully went into the camera well because Suzuki had to retrieve the ball, leaving a home plate vacant. And if that ball stayed on the field, another run would have scored. One does score. There's a pretty good chance that a trail runner would have scored, and now tying runs at the plate in Todd Frazier. And that to the backstop, and another run will score. It's 7-5. And on to third is Votto.
Wild pitch charged to Boyer.
Boyer's thrown 3 pitches. One's been a single. One, an error was committed on the ground ball, and now a wild pitch. Each team with 4 runs in the 7th, and the Reds aren't done yet. And he came inside and got a swinging strike. And for a change, an uneventful pitch. 2 errors in the inning. One by the shortstop, one by the second baseman. Another wild pitch and a long carom, keeping Votto at third.
And Suzuki's going to go out and try to settle down Blaine Boyer.
One way or the other, this figures to be the last man Boyer faces. Jay Bruce, the Twins hope, will lead off the 8th. He's in the on-deck circle. Two and one to Frazier.
foul, 2-2. More of a pitch to contact guy. Doesn't need to strike Frazier out, but he does need to get him out.
Yeah, last couple pitches inside that Frazier swung through.
Just got a piece, fouling it straight back. They're dialing it up to 94 miles per hour. Frazier lunges at an off-speed pitch and gets a piece. He's opened up the game with a 4-run top of the inning, but the Reds are in hot pursuit. 2-2. Snapped his bat and the ball rolls foul. Most of the bat ended up between Nunez and Plouffe. Eighth pitch of the at bat coming.
Went back inside again, and Frazier cracking his bat. Boyer trying to get the final out.
New bat, same count. Bouncer wide of third, foul ball.
And Trevor did the right thing. Play it all the way out, even though that umpire is behind you. You may not hear him. Bob Davidson. Ball hugging the line right here. Trevor. Go ahead and finish the play, which Trevor did, just in case.
Ninth pitch coming. Two and two to Todd Frazier. And he's gotten a piece of everything Boyer has thrown up there. Boyer struggling against right-handed batters this year, and he's got one of the best in the box here with the lead on the line in the seventh. Popped up. Suzuki with the catch. And Boyer eventually gets a huge out. Twins entered the seventh with a 2-run lead. They will leave the inning with a 2-run lead. It's a 2-run lead. Looking for more runs. Pitcher spot is due up, and Kenny Vargas will pinch hit for Blaine Boyer, leading off the 8th inning.
And it'll be J.J. Hoover coming out of the bullpen. He's done a great job out of that bullpen as a setup man. 5-0 out of the bullpen, making his 36th relief appearance. Only 17 hits allowed in 34 1/3 innings.
16 walks. An opponent batting average around 150. Here's Vargas leading off the 8th, and the first pitch looped down the line, but it'll twist foul. Twins had to scratch a guy who would normally be used in this spot. I would think Shane Robinson became ill before the game, so he was taken out of the starting lineup. And if you're going to be out of the starting lineup, you're almost certainly not going to be used later in the game. So he's unavailable. Chris Herman, the backup catcher, would be unusable outside 1-1. So 2 options here, Escobar and Vargas. And if Vargas reaches, we might see Escobar as a pinch runner. Snap bat, and that's foul. That's an awful sound. Just
6 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, 2 of which were earned.
1 and 2.
1 walk, 4 strikeouts, 1 wild pitch, 2 home runs. 6 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, 2 of which were earned. 4 strikeouts.
1 and 2 to Kenny Vargas. High fastball got him, 1 down.
Yeah, good fastball at that at 94.
And that'll get us to Brian Dozier.
Hoover in his 4th season with the Reds. And Vargas can't catch up to that high fastball.
Brian Dozier, as far as we know, has taken over the league lead in runs scored. He's now scored 60 runs this year. Started the day tied with Josh Donaldson and Brent Gardner, and he takes strike 1. 2 strikeouts, single and a run scored in the 5th, a double and a run scored in the 7th. And up high, 1-1. Outside, 2-1. Two of the runs scoring in the bottom of the 7th, or 1 in the bottom of the 7th, an earned run, the rest unearned. This one fouled up over our heads.
There's a lot of things over our heads.
2-2. Casey Fiend warming up. No left-hander warming up, and with Jay Bruce leading off, it's a bit surprising. Twins want to get Casey Fiend back out on the mound as soon as possible after what happened in Milwaukee. Swing and a miss. Dozier strikes out, 2 down.
And Hoover picks up his 2nd straight strikeout.
And that'll bring up Hunter. Hunter with a home run, a single, and 2 strikeouts. White Sox ended up beating St. Louis in 11 innings. Tyler Flowers with a home run. 2-1 the final score. Pittsburgh and Detroit still tied at 4 in the 12th. Way out in front.
That's the first time he's thrown that breaking ball, and Torrey was completely fooled by it.
Fans here cheering for another strikeout because they got a giveaway. If there are 11 strikeouts, everybody here gets free pizza. And now it's 1-2. And as nice as that,
us?
I don't know. As nice as that might be under normal circumstances, the fans who are here had to wait 2 hours for this game to get started.
They deserve pizza.
1-2.
driven to right field. Over the glove of Bruce, and Hunter will go to second base. Well, the Twins made a couple errors in the 7th, but Reds haven't done a good job of catching the ball here either tonight.
Yeah, you wonder if maybe that got into the lights for Jay Bruce, but he went back. Looked like he had it all the way, but the ball hit off his glove. Take a look. Torrey hits it the other way. And then Bruce goes back and reaches up, and the ball gets by him. Should be a double, hopefully, for Torrey Hunter.
Well, Mauer, who is 1 for 2 with an RBI, drew a walk his last time up. It was all but an intentional walk. This would be a nice one to get with 2 strikeouts, then a double. And now Mauer takes inside ball 1.
And Torrey does get a double. That's his 15th double. And second base with 2 outs.
Checked his swing, and it's 2-0. Twins now with 102 runs in June. They'd like to get one more here in the 8th. On the outside corner. Up the middle and into center field. Hunter around third. He'll score. Mauer with a seeing eye single, and the Twins get a big run back in the 8th.
Yeah, they sure do. Joe Mauer picking up his 2nd RBI. That high chopper over the mound. Bruce tried to get it. Hoover. Ball just out of his reach, and it trickles into center field. So Torrey scoring for the 2nd time. Twins take an 8-5 lead.
And the 2-out double that could have been caught in right field cost the Reds. And now Plouffe at the plate. Bouncer to short. Trevor's done that a lot tonight. That ends the inning. Twins get a big insurance run in the top of the 8th and lead by 3. here that if the visiting team gets 15 hits, the visiting announcers get pizza.
Oh, that's pretty good. I like it.
That worked out pretty good.
Nice going, Twins. Got Twins 15 hits, 8 runs. And Casey Fiend coming in. You like any reliever, you have a bad outing, you forget about it, and you move on. And Casey Fiend trying to do that after that outing in Milwaukee where he gave up 4 runs, didn't get anybody out, a couple 2-run home runs, making his 22nd relief appearance.
Outside, ball 1, and what was maybe a cue for what would follow. Casey walked the leadoff man in his inning, just his 2nd walk issued this year. Swing and a miss, 1-1. And on 1 strike now, you could, I think, hear the Twins dugout yelling, specifically Gene Glenn asking Trevor Plouffe to move over near second base. Missing inside, 2-1. Eventually, Blaine Boyer got the last out of the 7th. Now you come back in the bottom of the 8th. You just don't want anything to build for the Reds. And how's that for defensive shifting?
How about that, huh? 1
down.
Until some of these hitters start to just bunt the ball the other way, the Reds need base runners. The defense with Trevor going up the middle was perfectly placed. But until the hitters start to say, like Jay Bruce right there, just bunt the ball toward third base, you got a base runner right there.
1 down. And now Marlon Byrd, and the Twins swing the infield the other way. And it's Dozier lined up in the vicinity of second base. Fiend cranks one to the backstop. Ball 1. Now, to your point, Marlon Byrd's a slugger. He hasn't bunted much in his life, but how many hits would you need to have taken away from you before you just learned how to push the bunt toward Mauer? If he bunts it hard enough to make Mauer come in and field it, he's got a bunt single. Popped up right center field. Santana wants it. Hunter will let him have it. 2 down.
Well, we've seen Joe Mauer try that before too, especially leading off an inning, and that's what I was talking about. Jay Bruce leading off an inning, they need a base runner. Let's go ahead and try it.
Here's Barnhart. In a sense, I suppose, if this game ends similar to what the score is now, you can say of the Reds tonight what you said of the Twins last night. Fell behind, had a nice comeback, but the comeback ended up being a little short. At least that's how we hope that this game is written about. 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Over the course of the month of June, which is now over with here in the Eastern Time Zone, we're into July already.
Now, does this win, hopefully for the Twins, does this go into July?
I don't know. Since we all want to forget about June, I'm inclined to put this in the win column in July.
I like your thinking.
I bet it'll count in June instead. 1-1. But one of the things that happened over the course of the month of June, the bullpen here or there sprung some leaks.
Yeah.
Casey had his bad outing, and some other relievers had some bad outings along the way. And as the starting pitching is going to become an issue here very early in July with the return of Santana, one of the resolutions might be whoever is sent out of the rotation might find himself in the bullpen. But bouncer to first, right through Mauer into right field. The third Twins error in the infield.
Well, Joe has been so steady at first base, that ball just scooted underneath him. So we've seen Dozier, a rare error, make his third, and Mauer with his fourth. He got down trying to keep it in front of him, but somehow it went right between his legs.
Now Suarez. Reds cashed in on 2 infield errors in the 7th to score 3 more runs than they should have. And now a base hit to left, and the tying run will come to the plate. Brian Pena will hit in the pitcher's spot. The Twins just haven't been able to stand prosperity here tonight.
Suarez gets his second hit after the home run in the 3rd inning. Adds a single here.
Pena 183 at bats. No home runs, which is surprising because when he was with the Royals, I saw him hit a couple of tape measure shots against the Twins.
Pena, switch hitter, is a left-handed hitter, hitting very well. 333. 42 hits and 126 at bats.
3 infield errors in the late innings, and the Reds have some life here in the bottom of the 8th. Oh, Pena got a pitch up and fouled it straight back. 1 strike.
Glenn Perkins up in the bullpen.
Hamilton is a switch hitter. He's in the on-deck circuit. Off the plate, 1-1.
Pena, 11-year veteran with the Braves, the Royals, the Tigers. Now in his 2nd season here in Cincinnati.
1-1 on the outside corner.
And like Phil Hughes, Casey Fiend has that cutter, that cut fastball. Looked like a strike to me.
At 12:06 in the morning. Yep. 1-2. He had to throw a few more pitches than he needed to this inning. An error, a base hit.
Well, you want to pick up your defense right here.
Ooh. That looked more like a strike than the one that was called. We've shown David Rackley's strike zone to be wildly inconsistent, generous if anything, and that pitch was outside.
Ball's outside.
Two and two. Chop to the right side. Dozier had a weird hop, but he stayed with it. And the Reds strand a couple in the 8th. Not the tidiest inning again for the Twins infield.
Twins in front 8-5. You can spend your summer at Target Field. Become a Twins season ticket holder with the new Pick 10 plan. You just pick 10 games against teams you want to see the Twins beat. You can enjoy sweet spot benefits exclusive to Twins season ticket holders, including 10% off game day food and merchandise at Target Field. Learn more about package options by visiting twinsbaseball.com/pick10 or by calling 612-33-TWINS.
Carlos Contreras coming into the ball game, 24 years old, from the Dominican Republic. A couple stints with the Reds this year, just recalled on the 16th of this month. I guess since it's a new month, last month.
Eddie Rosario with 2 line drive singles to right. 1 run scored. He'll be followed by Nunez and Suzuki.
Contreras with a good fastball, slider, and a changeup. Second season with the Reds.
Outside 1-1.
Good changeup there.
1-2.
Very good changeup.
Checked his swing successfully, and it's 2-2. Rosario's average up to 280. Got him. Foul tip. They're saying no, it hit the dirt. And I think Brian Price might come out to challenge that or question the home plate umpire. You can't challenge this call. And it didn't appear like that ball got in the dirt at all. Now what he can do is ask David Rackley to ask the other umpires for some help. But you can't review a foul tip you presume to be in the dirt. And in consultation with
Bob Davidson saying
I think that's wrong. Jerry Lane's there. He's a third base ump. That's not Bob Davidson. I think Bob Davidson is the umpire that is not on this crew. At any rate, whoever the third base umpire is, and I believe it's Jerry Lane, said that the ball did not hit the dirt. No, that's Bob. And
yeah.
I beg your pardon.
Yep, that's
Bob Davidson. So a strikeout to start the 9th, and now Nunez.
Well, take another look right here. Watch the catcher's glove. Oh, it's so close.
Nunez to the seat of his pants. Remember that infamous play in the playoffs in 2005 against the Angels. A.J. Pierzynski, who was the hitter at the time, running to first when the Angels thought that the inning was over on a strikeout. And the inning continued. The White Sox came back to win that ball game late. 2-0. And now 3-0 with Suzuki on deck. And a 4-pitch walk to a guy who doesn't do much of that. Eduardo Nunez might be in a steal situation here. Nunez walking for just the 7th time this year.
Yeah, he stole a base in the 6th inning.
Suzuki will bat.
So Suzuki's last at bat, a big 2-run single in the 4-run 7th inning. Couple hits tonight.
And they pitch out, or at least
attempt to.
Barnhart called for one. Contreras nearly threw it over the plate. 1-0. Six in a row misfired by Contreras.
Contreras coming in 5 walks, now 6 walks in 9 2/3 innings. Last year when he was up with the Reds for a little bit, he worked in 17 ball games, had 17 walks in 19 1/3 innings. So control is an issue.
Twins well aware of that. They may just elect to have Contreras walk Nunez to second base. There he goes. No, he stops. And it's a strike call, 2-1. Nunez patting his chest as if to say, I should have gone. Getting signs from Gene Glenn. Suzuki took a strike for him. Two and 1 to Suzuki. Up down the right field line, and Bruce has a long run, and he won't get there. 2-2. A run for the Twins in the first, second, fifth, a 4-run 7th, another single run in the 8th. And yet the Reds have had 2 at bats in the last 2 innings with the tying run at the plate. 2-2 to Suzuki. Tigers and Pirates are headed to the 14th inning. In Detroit, tied at 4. Three and 2, and Nunez gets back safely. Coach Davis has some words for Nunez.
Helping read the signs from Gene Glenn. I think he's going to be taken off here. 3-2, 1 out.
Nunez hasn't gone to a chin strap for that helmet yet. He'll lose it here as he runs to second. It's ball 4.
2 straight walks for Contreras.
Now Santana will come to the mound, or come to the plate.
Jeff Pico, the pitching coach, out to talk to his right-hander.
Santana on the night, hitless, 2 strikeouts, an RBI and a ground ball, and then he was intentionally walked in the 6th.
He's the only regular without a hit. He'd like to get a hit right here. 0 for 3 with the intentional walk. Did pick up an RBI, as you mentioned, in the 2nd inning.
It's a save situation now for Glenn Perkins. Probably come into the game regardless of what the score is. He hasn't pitched much in the last week or so. Very high, ball one. Escobar's in the on deck circle. Barring a double play, he'll hit in the pitcher spot. And a strike, 1-1. Right to the shortstop. It comes up on Suarez, and they get the double play. And Santana hits into the shift and ends the inning with a ground ball. It'll be a safe situation for Glenn Perkins when we come back. Glenn Perkins with a save opportunity and a chance to get used to the mound here at Great American Ballpark. There's a really, really good chance that in a couple of weeks he'll come back and pitch in the All-Star game on that mound.
Well, you know what? He's only pitched. This will be the second time in 10 days. The last time he pitched was Saturday when he picked up his 24th save against the Brewers in the 5-2 win. No, I agree. Get used to the mound, Perk.
Hamilton will lead things off as a right-handed batter, and he takes ball one. Hamilton a little bit better from this side of the plate than the other side of the plate. And now 2-0. Because of the presence of Votto and Frazier and Bruce hitting consecutively in the middle of this Reds lineup, paramount importance to get these first two guys out, as many as you can anyway. 2-1 now to Hamilton. DeJesus will follow, and then the power. Perkins snags a liner.
Look what I found.
That knocked his breath out, and it didn't even hit him. One down.
Watch Perk right here, right back up the middle. He kind of was almost trying to get out of the way, but the ball found his glove.
There's that easy first out. And now DeJesus. DeJesus with hits his last two times up. He's actually had a good night at the plate. He lined out his first time up in the first inning, and Perkins buries a 94-mile-per-hour fastball down the middle. Strike one. to right field. Hunter retreating to the corner. Out number 2. Second game of July is coming up in a few hours as we look at what's next. Brought to you by CenturyLink.
Johnny Cueto having a very good year, even though the win-loss record is there. Former All-Star be facing the Twins. And Trevor May might be his last start. You don't know.
Well, let's just hope it's longer than his most recent start when he went just third of an inning. Here's Votto with 2 gone in the 9th. Just outside ball 1. One and 1. One and 1 to Joey Votto. Slider gets a wild swing and a miss. A little heat under the armpits. 2 and 2. Fouled over the Twins dugout. Phil Hughes got 20 outs and gave up just 2 earned runs.
Another quality start for Phil Hughes. 5 in a row.
3 and 2. Frazier on deck. Lane Boyer relieved him and struggled. And some weird things happened, and eventually got maybe the biggest out in the game. He got Frazier to foul out to end the 7th inning, representing the tying run. Now 3 and 2, and Frazier will have a chance, not as the tying run, but he'll have a chance to extend the game. Rare walk by Perkins.
Yeah, for Perk, only his 5th walk in 32 innings pitched.
Frazier doubled his first time up. Since then, a couple of foul outs and a strikeout. Votto went to second. He'll have to return. Twins don't care. He could keep on going to third base for all that the Twins care about it. 1 strike. In the dirt, 1 and 1. I'd rather not have anything get too extended here because we do have a quick turnaround. We've got a 12:30 start time tomorrow. Perkins asked to make the final pitches of this game, might be asked to reassume the mound in a matter of hours this afternoon.
Yeah, Perk stepping off because there's a runner at second now. They'll go more than 1 sign.
It's by Suzuki, and the ugliness continues. 1 and 2. A lot of balls to the backstop here in the late innings for both teams.
That'll be a wild pitch charged to Perkins.
One and 2 to Todd Frazier. Two and 2. Of course, if Frazier reaches, then Jay Bruce will have a chance as the tying run. 2 and 2. Finally, this game ends. with Perkins striking out Todd Frazier.
Yeah, good win for the Twins.
Last night, Anthony, the Twins lost in ugly fashion, and tonight I think it's fair to say that they won in ugly fashion.